absolute. Now, let me ask you this question, right? And I want you to try to answer it. How are they going to identify and justify the ground of all being that is the basis for facts?
Well, they can't.
How? That means they're guilty of fideism, but they reject fideism. And if you reject fideism, that means they have no basis from to speak, and they need to be quiet. So when they reject Christianity because they conclude that it's fideism and they reject fideism, they're going to have to be quiet because they're guilty of fideism. But they don't think they're guilty of fideism. You know why? It's because they're epistemological loafers. They're not willing to be introspective about their own ontology and epistemology. And if they were, they'd sit there and be, and if they had an honest bone in their body, they would sit there and be quiet, but they're not honest. That's why I don't have fear in calling these people out. Once you realize the truth of God's revelation and its implications, okay, at first it's a little bit difficult. It's got a little bit difficult to understand, a little bit counterintuitive because we've been so brainwashed by the way the world thinks. Once we understand God's system, then we don't even need to be fearful against debating a PhD. I debated an atheist with a PhD 8 times on Discord. I wasn't fearful. You want to know why? It's because even though, he could run circles around me in terms of the details and the specifics of philosophy, I still know he's operating from a vacuous system because he doesn't know what the ultimate nature of reality is. Once you understand that when somebody rejects the revelation of God, then they're explicitly or implicitly operating under a criterion or a standard. Then I'm going to apply that standard to them. Okay? I'm going to Mirandize them. Anything you say can and will be used against you, including your criterion of belief. And when you apply their criterion of belief by which they reject belief in God or the God of the Bible, you just turn around and you shine that criterion of belief that they're using on their system, and their system collapses, and it's game over. And they either have to surrender their autonomy to Jesus Christ, recognizing that he is the way, the truth, and the life, and he is the transcendental necessity for everything, or they're going to have to be quiet. And if they're not quiet, then say, good. Then what is it that replaces Jesus Christ? What is it? What are you operating from? Nothing.
He's the gate.
They're like using logos without any respect or care to where it comes from.
No.
Would that be
they are implicitly operating from a foundation that they are holding in violation of their criterion of belief. Mm-hmm. And it's game over. They're violating their own rules.